DAO, its core full name is Decentralized Autonomous Organization. It is organization represented by rules encoded as smart contract that is transparent, controlled by the organization members, and not influenced by a central government. Put in other words, they are member-owned communities without centralized leadership. Now we have a question. Why we need a DAO? We need to take a look at the bottleneck of the traditional company system. In the traditional company system, the first bottleneck is bureaucracy. It has a CEO and then CTO, CFO, and CO. Let's go down this pyramid. There are many senior managers and product managers. And down there's delivery team leaders, technical team leaders, and in the CFO branch, there are accounting managers, financial managers. In this hierarchy, we might ask, why the company needs so many managers? Is there too many redundant people? Is the CEO, CFO, CTO necessary? With this hierarchy, there are unfair distribution of wealth. People among the top of the pyramid get much more wealth and pay much less than they deserve. So it's low efficiency. Another bottleneck of the traditional company system is incentive and motivation. Employees get salary, maybe bonus, and some companies have small or no small shares, but others have no shares at all. So the employees' benefits are separated from shareholders' interest. The company needs low cost and high revenue to benefit shareholders, so they have no intention to actively increase salary for the employees. Thus, the employees have no intention to work hard, or in most occasions, they pretend to be work hard. A book called Bullshit Jobs, which is quite attractive to take a look. Now let's take a look how the DAO can solve the problem. In a DAO, people distributed among the world, they work for DAO. And there's no CEO, no authority, no HR in a DAO system because it's decentralized. And the system is based on the mechanism of smart contract proposals raised by people that vote for the proposal or vote for the leaders. So the system based on proposal and voting. Every people get tokens for incentive based on how much work they have done and how the other people the opinion about them. These tokens can be exchanged on market to get real money, fiat currency. So the system they're working, maybe the system they will use. So each member of the DAO is a token holder, which is shareholder in traditional system. Their employee, actually, we can say work maybe, and their client, so they have enough incentive to work for themselves in this DAO system. Let's talk about the history of the DAO system. In 2016, shortly after the born of Ethereum blockchain, there's the DAO. It's running with smart contract over Ethereum blockchain. In 30 April 2016, they launched ICO, which means initial coin offering. It's somehow similar to traditional IPO, but it's more decentralized, more open to the public, also called a crowd sale. It raised up more than 12 billion Ethereum, which means people pay Ethereum to a smart contract in a still smart contract in the blockchain, and the smart contract pay back DAO tokens to them. This makes them make more than 150 million US dollars in 21st May. So on June 17th, the DAO was subject to an attack by some hack. The hack takes away millions of dollars by hackers a fallback function in the smart contract. So we know at those time the smart contract are quite fragile. After this, there are two opinions among the Ethereum community. One opinion is to keep the blockchain. The lost money is part of the decentralization system, so it shouldn't be rolled back. Another opinion is to hard fork the blockchain to roll back the actions by this hack, so the people won't get lost. Because of these two options, the Ethereum blockchain was hard forked to blockchain. One's ETC called classical Ethereum. Another is ETH. Is the second largest blockchain we have known today. The plan to hard fork the blockchain is supported by the founder of the Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin. The DAO system works so different from the traditional company system. So let's compare them one by one. The first is the approach of organization. In the traditional company system, there's CEO, CTO, CFO, and there's a senior manager, HR manager, and the employees, team leader maybe. It's a hierarchy system, and the company work for the clients that get revenue from clients and provide products. And also the company is responsible for the interest of share holders. So their interests are separate. In a DAO system, there are no CEO, no authority. There's guild, people working in the all across the world for a similar goal in a DAO system. Each member of a DAO system is a worker, token holder, and a client. There's lots of guilds in a DAO system. You can join whatever you are interested in. Secondly, it's about how a task is formed and distributed in different mechanisms. In a traditional company, a task is formed by high managers discussion. Maybe some manager have a proposal and they can discuss it and vote for it, and or the task is based on client's requests. And in the DAO system, there's a member who can raise up a proposal. The proposal can originate from everywhere, and there's informal discussion about the proposal by a small group of people. It may be over Slack, over Telegram, Discord or forum. And after this, they think this is worth to do it, and there's a formal discussion of the proposal with more people. And after that, people in the DAO communities will vote for this proposal. This is so different from the traditional company, since the proposal can be raised by anyone. Every people is equally have the rights, as long as it can go through all this discussion and vote. It can be a project people can work on. There's not a difference between traditional company system and DAO on how a task is distributed. In the traditional company system, after task is confirmed, managers will organize team members to do jobs. But in a DAO, the proposal is approved by voting, and then the treasury guild will allocate tokens to this project. And by this time, the proposal will become a project, and there'll be lots of people who have the capability and who are interested in the project will join this project. This is so different between them. So in DAO, it's more initiative. In the traditional company, team members just passively receive the jobs, whatever they like, not. There's another difference is how a leader is selected. In a traditional company, a leader is usually assigned by his or her manager, but in a DAO system, a leader is picked up by voting. Lots of people vote for who have the capability, who is competent to act as the role of a leader. The role of a leader is totally different between them. In the traditional company, a senior manager has the authority to assign a manager in team. A manager has the right to decide the salary of a subordinate, and the employee should report to his direct manager. And an employee should ask for leave to his or her direct manager. That's a lot of people have experienced. In a DAO system, a leader is only a role responsible for a project. A leader is organizer and coordinator of a project, and the leader cannot decide people's salary. A leader doesn't have any authority, and how to decide salary we'll talk later. You see, in a DAO is more flexible and freestyle working. People have more initiative to work rather than forced to do something. And another difference is about human resource, how to join an organization. In a traditional company, you have to submit your resume, and if your resume is picked up by the company, there will be some the behavior interview, and there will be an interview with the human resource talking about your salary. And finally, if you're happy with each other, you'll be hired. In the DAO system, it's totally different. In a DAO, there's usually lots of guilds and lots of components. For example, in a bank store, they have analyst guild, art guild, rights guild. You can pick up whatever guild you want. If you think you have a capability, you have the interest to learn something new, you can join them by the Discord or Telegram. which is very flexible, and once your talent has been acknowledged by a team, you can get a salary. It's progressive kind of inclusion process. Now we're talking about salary, which incentive for people's motivation to work. How a salary is determined. In the traditional company, um, there's a KPI you need to meet up with, and also your salary depends on how your director manager's point of view on you, whether he or she likes you or not. It's quite subjective. But in a DAO system, how much you can be paid depends on people's vote on you. Uh, a lot of people who have the working experience with you, they can vote on you with some weight. This can determine your payment. So it's somehow more decentralized, more objective, rather than determined by a single person, a single authority. There's lots of tools on the DAO system. Now we talk about an important tool called Coordinator. It's a decentralized payroll management system, um, which is invented by the young finance team. First, it was applied on the young finance, and then it, was used widely on many DeFi systems and many DAOs. The basic mechanism of this tool is quite straightforward. Each member has a set amount of allocation points and can allocate points to the contributors they have worked with um, based on what they think of their contributions. Each line is an allocation from one member to the next. This builds up a contributors graph that is weighted towards the members that have the most interactions and allocations. So this coordinator system pay people based on contributor graph is somehow very decentralized and very scientific, much better and objective than traditional way. There's another tool called Snapshot. And maybe lots of people know this. It's a decentralized voting system. It was originated from balance neighbors. Um, the mechanism is somebody raised up a proposal, and people in the DAO can vote for it, whether accept it or reject. And this is a off-chain voting system, which means you do not need to vote on-chain to pay gas fee. So it's zero fee voting system. Lots of DeFi system or DAOs have used this system in Gitcoin, AVV, Decentraland, SUSI, and Uniswap, Bankstore, Polygon. So it is widely used. There are lots of DAO systems. Some are tools you can create your own DAO, such as Aragon, DAO Stack, Syndicate DAO, and some are some social DAO, BitDAO, Flemington, the DAO, and some are DeFi protocols, such as makeDAO, Compound, Uniswap. Others are quite comprehensive. For example, bankless DAO, Gitcoin. Personally, I have joined both bankless DAO and Gitcoin. They have mostly bankless DAO. They have lots of guilds, and you can attend some guild you are interested with, and you can develop your skills, your competence in many guild. You can also create your own DAO. If this video has more than 1,000 upvoting, I will create another video explain how to start your own DAO. Let's go. Thank you for your time. I'll create more videos and hope you enjoy them. See you next time.